Welcome to Bipolar Talks, the mindful space where we explore real stories and raw truths behind bipolar disorder and mental health. Today's question is bold and honest. What does it really take to find balance when your brain feels like it's spinning out of control? You're about to hear a story that's intense, beautiful, and deeply human. If you find this episode meaningful, or think it might help someone you love, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Your support helps others feel less alone. This is Finding Balance in Bipolar, as told by Maya. Right before turning 30, Maya did something big. She got her very first tattoo. And not just a little one, her whole back. 5.5 hours straight under the buzzing needle. It felt intense and transformative, like a personal rite of passage. As she walked home that snowy night, everything around her sparkled. Life felt huge, beautiful, and bursting with truth. Have you ever had a moment so full of meaning, it felt almost too perfect? Let's see where Maya's moment led her. The diagnosis that hit like a wave. A few weeks later, Maya was referred to a psychiatrist. And there she heard words that shook her to her core. You have bipolar 1 disorder. First, she didn't want to believe it. But as they went through the symptoms, rapid speech, sleeplessness, distractibility, grandiosity, it was all there. It felt like reading a manual about her entire self. It was jarring. It was real. Have you ever received news that explained everything but left you reeling? Maya was just beginning to understand what that diagnosis meant. The artist's fear. Maya had always been an artist. A real one, gritty, passionate, alive. So part of her leaned into the identity of the crazy artist. But another part was scared. What if meds flattened her? What if treatment dulled the very spark she built her life around? She remembered the medicated patients she'd worked with after college, people who seemed sedated and hollow. Can you relate to the fear of losing your identity in the process of healing? The conflict between survival and self-expression is so real. The manic ride. So Maya avoided treatment. She spiraled into a 5-month manic stretch. It was dizzying. She danced in front of mirrors for hours, flirted with strangers, made new friends who only knew her as an energetic flame. Everything was fast, impulsive, euphoric. But there was no break. And honestly, she didn't want to stop. Have you ever felt so high, so alive, that the idea of slowing down seemed impossible? But what goes up often comes down. Enter depression and lithium. The color drained from life. The joy faded. Maya stopped changing her nail polish. She collapsed into exhaustion, then into darkness. Depression crept in like thick, heavy mud. That's when the doctor prescribed lithium. Maya gave in. And suddenly, the bipolar label felt permanent. Not in a poetic way, in a painful, broken way. Have you ever felt that starting treatment meant losing control of your story? Maya's journey into depression was just beginning, but so was her healing. The fog and the fight. The side effects of lithium hit hard. She struggled to think clearly, her skin reacted. She gained weight, and her mood kept dropping. Was it the meds or the depression? She couldn't tell. She used to feel tough. She worked out, ate well, rebelled against the norm. Now she felt lost, like she was drowning in a muddy hole with no ladder. When you're in that kind of darkness, it's hard to believe you'll ever get out. But what if you could borrow hope from someone else? That's exactly what Maya did. Her psychiatrist believed the depression would lift, even when she couldn't. And she held on to that belief. Then she discovered 2 memoirs. An Unquiet Mind by K. Redfield Jamison and Darkness Visible by William Styron. Their words pierced through the fog. They named her pain. They gave her hope. Has someone else's words ever held you steady when your world was shaking? Sometimes, connection is the beginning of healing. Drawing through the pain. Maya didn't feel creative, but she kept drawing. She illustrated her dread, her anxiety, her urge to disappear. Art helped her trap her demons on paper, at least for a moment. Her depression lasted a full 1.5 years. But when it finally lifted, it was like resurfacing from underwater. She could feel the sun again. Even when we feel broken, creativity can help us find ourselves again. One line at a time. So what happened when the mania returned? The meds she was on didn't hold her steady for long. She could feel the energy rising again. And this time she wanted to avoid mania. So she began the long, frustrating process of medication trial and error. Sometimes she was on meds for the side effects of other meds. Even Joy felt suspicious. Was it real or a symptom? Have you ever second-guessed your own happiness? Maya kept going. She kept learning. And slowly she found her floating. After 4 years, Maya stabilized. But she still kept her diagnosis private. Stigma is loud. She feared people wouldn't see her, just her mental illness. But the artist in her wanted to help. So she wrote and illustrated her journey in a graphic memoir. Sharing her truth publicly was terrifying but powerful. What if your story could help someone else feel less alone? Maya took that leap and found she wasn't alone at all. People reached out. Friends, strangers, fellow travelers. Everyone's story was different, but the struggles? So familiar. Especially the fight to care for ourselves, to show up, to balance. Maya realized she wasn't the only one. None of us are. Have you ever been surprised by how many people quietly carry the same weight you do? This is what community looks like. Maya has now been stable for 17 years. And looking back, she created a system for herself. One with a goofy name and a serious impact. SMEDMERTS. Here's what it means. S. Sleep. Always the top priority. M. Meds. If you take them right. E. Well, your brain is what you feed it. D. Doctor or therapy. Keep checking in. M. Mindfulness and meditation. Calm takes practice. E. Exercise. It matters. R. Routine. Find your rhythm. T. Tools. Coping strategies that work for you. S. Support system. You're not supposed to do this alone. What would your own wellness system look like? Let's talk about why balance doesn't mean standing still. Stability is not stagnation. SMEDMERTS taught Maya that all of these pieces work together, like spokes on a wheel. And honestly, you don't have to be bipolar to need support. We all feel overwhelmed sometimes. We all go off balance. That doesn't mean we're broken, it means we're human. Balance isn't about being still. It's about adjusting, over and over again. What if the goal isn't perfection but flexibility? Let's wrap this up with one final image. The tattoo I still carry. Maya rarely sees her tattoo. It's on her back after all. But when she catches a glimpse in the mirror, she smiles. That ink marks the turning point. The pain, the fear, the growth. Once she thought stability would erase her. But now, a balanced life feels more like her than anything else ever has. Thank you for listening to this mindful story on Bipolar Talks. If Maya's journey resonated with you, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's keep building this community, because we all need reminders that we're not alone. Disclaimer: this episode is for informational purposes only. For diagnosis, treatment, or mental health support, please consult a licensed professional. Your wellness matters and help is out there.